The boss's daughter froze when she saw her missing sister's pendant on the gas station attendant's neck. The afternoon sun beat down mercilessly on the asphalt of Highway 66, creating heat waves that distorted the horizon like a mirage. Emily Carter adjusted her sunglasses as she drove her silver Mercedes toward the nearest gas station. At 28, she wore expensive clothes, French perfume, and always maintained an impeccable posture. She was the only daughter of Richard Carter, construction magnate and owner of a fortune built with sweat and sacrifice. But on that Thursday afternoon, something was about to shatter Emily's perfect routine. As she pulled up to pump number 3, she rolled down her window and waited. A young woman in a faded blue uniform approached, hair pulled back in a ponytail, face marked by the sun, rough hands of someone who knew hard work. Her brown eyes had a strange depth, as if they hid ancient secrets. "Good afternoon, ma'am. How much you want?" Emily was about to respond when her gaze fell on the attendant's neck. There, swaying gently against the tanned skin, was a small silver pendant, a butterfly with open wings. Encrusted with tiny turquoise stones, the world stopped. Emily's hands began to tremble. Instinctively, she brought her fingers to her own neck, touching the identical pendant she never took off. Identical. Perfectly identical. "Ma'am, you okay?" the attendant asked, leaning in with concern. Emily couldn't speak. Her mind traveled back 23 years, to that January morning when everything collapsed. She'd been only 5 years old. Her father had just gifted them, her and her twin sister Grace, the butterfly pendants. "So you never forget that you're two wings of the same heart," Richard had said, tears in his eyes, after his wife's recent death. But that same afternoon, Grace disappeared. The girls had been playing at the park, while Aunt Margaret, Richard's sister, watched them distractedly. When Emily came back from the swings, Grace was gone. Just a pink shoe abandoned near the bushes and a silence that would never be filled again. For years, Richard spent millions searching. He hired private investigators, offered rewards, appeared on national TV programs, but Grace Carter had simply evaporated over time. The pain became a scar, but Emily's pendant remained as a daily reminder of the half that had been ripped away from her. And now, here, at this isolated gas station on the highway, another woman wore the same pendant. Where'd you get that?" Emily whispered, her voice breaking. The attendant touched the necklace, confused. "This. I've always had it. Since I can remember. Why? What's your name?" "Lily. Lily Brooks." Emily got out of the car. Her legs weak, she approached slowly, analyzing every feature of that face. The brown eyes, the shape of the chin, the small dimple in the left cheek. The same one she saw in the mirror every morning. "I need to talk to you, please. It's urgent." Lily stepped back, suddenly wary. "Look, lady, I don't know what this is about, but please," Emily's voice cracked. "Just give me 5 minutes. There's a coffee shop down the road. I'll explain everything." Something in Emily's eyes, desperation mixed with recognition, made Lily pause. Against her better judgment, she nodded slowly. "My shift ends in 10 minutes. 15 minutes later, they sat across from each other in a small diner booth. Emily's hands shook as she pulled out her phone, scrolling through photos. She placed it on the table between them. "This is me, and this," her voice caught. "This is my sister Grace. We were 5 years old." Lily stared at the photo. 2 identical little girls, holding hands, each wearing a butterfly pendant. Her chest tightened inexplicably. "We're twins," Emily continued, tears streaming down her face now. "We're twins. Grace disappeared 23 years ago, January 15th, 1999. She was taken from a park while our aunt was supposed to be watching us. I'm sorry, but I don't see what this has to." "That pendant," Emily pointed. "My father had them custom made for us. Only 2 exist in the world. I'm wearing one right now." She pulled her own pendant from beneath her silk blouse. Lily's eyes widened. They were identical, down to the last detail. The same turquoise stones, the same delicate silver work. "Lots of jewelry looks similar," Lily said, but her voice lacked conviction. "Not like this. These were one of a kind, made by a jeweler in Santa Fe who died 10 years ago." Emily leaned forward. "Please, just tell me about yourself." Where are you from? Do you remember your childhood? Lily shifted uncomfortably. I grew up in an orphanage. In New Mexico. I don't remember anything before I was about 5 or 6. The director said I showed up with no papers, no records, just... She touched the pendant. Just this. Emily's breath caught. No memories at all. Sometimes I get these headaches when I try to remember, and sometimes there are flashes, like dreams, a playground, swings, someone calling a name, but I can never hear it clearly. The coffee cup trembled in Emily's hand. Every detail fit. Every impossible detail. I know this sounds crazy, Emily said. I know you have no reason to believe me, but I think, God, I think you might be my sister. Lily laughed, but it came out hollow. That's impossible. Is it? You have the pendant. You can't remember before age 5. You were found in New Mexico. That's where most of the investigators thought she might have been taken. Emily's words tumbled out faster now. And your face, Lily. Look at me. Really look. For the first time. Lily truly studied Emily's features. The brown eyes were the same shade as her own. The shape of the nose. The way her eyebrows arched. It was like looking into a mirror that showed her in expensive clothes and perfect makeup. This is insane, Lily whispered. I know, but there's a way to find out for sure. Emily pulled a business card from her purse. DNA test. We can have the results in 3 days. And if it's not true, if I'm not her, Emily's face crumpled, then I'll apologize for wasting your time and go back to living with the hole in my heart. She wiped her eyes. But if you are, Lily, my father never stopped looking. Never. He'd give anything to have Grace back. Lily stared at the card, then at the pendant around her neck, then at the woman across from her who might be her twin sister. Her whole life. She'd felt incomplete, like a part of her was missing. She'd always attributed it to growing up without parents, without a family. But what if it was something else? What if somewhere out there, someone had been looking for her all along? Okay, she said finally, her voice barely audible. I'll do the test. Emily's face broke into a tremulous smile. She reached across the table and squeezed Lily's hand. Thank you, God. Thank you. As they left the diner, the setting sun caught both pendants, making them shine with identical light. 2 butterflies, separated for 23 years, finally in the same place again. Neither of them noticed the black sedan that had been parked across the street, its driver watching through tinted windows. Inside, a woman with dark sunglasses gripped the steering wheel until her knuckles turned white. Margaret Carter had followed her niece, as she sometimes did when Emily's behavior seemed unusual, and now she'd seen everything. The past she'd buried was about to claw its way back to the surface. The medical clinic's waiting room felt sterile and cold. Emily sat beside Lily, their knees almost touching, both staring at the frosted glass door that led to the lab. Neither had spoken much during the drive over. This is real, isn't it? Lily finally broke the silence. Like, this is actually happening. Emily turned to her, managing a small smile. Yeah, it is. A nurse called them back. And within 20 minutes, it was done. 2 vials of blood, a signed consent form, and a promise that results would be ready in 72 hours. As they walked back to the parking lot, Emily stopped by her Mercedes. Can we talk more? I need to know about you, about your life. Lily glanced at her beat-up Honda Civic, then back at Emily. Sure, where? There's a park nearby, quiet place. 20 minutes later, they sat on a bench overlooking a small pond. Ducks glided across the water, oblivious to the magnitude of what was unfolding on the shore. Tell me everything, Emily said softly. From the beginning. Lily took a deep breath. The orphanage, it wasn't official, no state records, no adoption agency connections. It was run by this woman, Mrs. Delgado. She said I showed up one night when I was around 5. No name, no papers, just the pendant and the clothes on my back. Did she say who brought you? A man. That's all she told me. Said he paid her to take care of me. Told her my parents were dead. Lily's voice hardened. Looking back, it was probably all bullshit. The place was barely scraping by. Half the kids there were in the same boat. No records, no past. Emily's hands clenched. How long were you there? Until I was 18. Nobody wanted to adopt a kid with no paperwork, No birth certificate, no social security number. I was basically a ghost. She laughed bitterly. Ironic, right? Maybe I was a ghost. Grace's ghost. Don't say that. Emily's voice cracked. You're not a ghost. You're real. You're here. Am I, though? I mean, who am I really? Lily Brooks is just a name Mrs. Delgado gave me because she had to call me something. She touched the pendant. This is the only thing that's really mine. The only thing that feels true. Emily pulled out her phone again, scrolling through photos. This was our mother. Her name was Catherine. She died when we were 4. Brain aneurysm. Just collapsed one day at the grocery store. Lily stared at the image of a beautiful woman with dark hair and warm eyes. Something tugged at her chest. A feeling she couldn't name. Dad raised us alone after that. Well, not completely alone. Aunt Margaret lived with us. Emily's expression darkened slightly. She was supposed to be watching us that day, at the park. What happened? I mean, do you remember? Emily nodded slowly. Bits and pieces. We were on the swings. You, Grace, wanted to go see the ducks. Aunt Margaret said yes, but told you to stay where she could see you. I wanted to keep swinging, so you went alone. Her voice dropped to a whisper. When I got tired and went to find you, you were just gone. Your shoe was there, but you weren't. Do you remember what Grace was wearing? Pink dress with butterflies on it. Mom had bought matching ones for us. Emily smiled sadly. You always loved butterflies. You'd chase them around the backyard for hours. Lily's head suddenly throbbed. She pressed her fingers to her temples, and for just a second, she saw it. A pink dress, the flutter of wings, the sound of laughter. Then it was gone. You okay? Emily reached for her arm. Headache. I get them when I try to remember. Lily opened her eyes. But just now, I saw something. A pink dress and butterflies. Emily's breath caught. Oh my God. It could be suggestion. You just told me about the dress. Or it could be a real memory. Emily turned to face her fully. Lily, or Grace, or whoever you are, I've spent 23 years with this hole in my chest. My dad spent millions trying to find you. He never gave up, never stopped looking. But he didn't find me. Because someone hid you really well. Someone who didn't want you found. Emily's jaw tightened. And I'm going to find out who. They sat in silence for a moment, watching the ducks. Finally, Lily spoke. What was she like? Grace? I mean, before. Emily smiled, tears welling up. She was the brave one. Always jumping first, climbing higher. Running faster, I was more cautious. Mom used to say you were the wings and I was the roots. She touched her pendant. 2 wings of the same heart. But you were the one who wanted to fly. And now you pump gas on Highway 66 and I manage my father's business accounts. Emily laughed sadly. Life's funny that way. If the test comes back positive, Lily said carefully, what happens then? Then you meet your father, you meet your family, you come home. Home. Lily tested the word like it was foreign. I've never really had one of those. You did once. And you will again. Emily's voice was fierce now. I promise you that. Lily wanted to believe her. Wanted to believe that the emptiness she'd felt her entire life had an explanation. A reason. That she wasn't just nobody from nowhere, but somebody's daughter. Somebody's sister. 3 days, she said. 3 days, Emily echoed as the sun began to set, casting golden light across the water. Emily pulled out a small notepad. Can I get your number? Your address? I want to stay in touch while we wait. Lily rattled off the information. A motel on the east side of town. A prepaid cell phone number. Emily wrote it all down carefully, as if each detail was precious. I have a guest room, Emily said suddenly. At my place. You could stay there while we wait for the results. I don't think... Please. I know it's weird, but I just found you, or might have found you. I don't want to lose you again. The vulnerability in Emily's voice made Lily's throat tight. She nodded slowly. Okay? Yeah, that would be... Okay. They stood, and for a moment, they just looked at each other. Then Emily did something impulsive. She pulled Lily into a hug. Lily stiffened at first, unused to the gesture, but then slowly, tentatively, hugged her back. For the first time in 23 years, the butterflies touched. The iron gates opened with a quiet hum, revealing a driveway lined with manicured hedges and ancient oak trees. Lily gripped the door handle of Emily's Mercedes, her knuckles white as the mansion came into view. "Holy shit," she breathed. The Carter estate sprawled across the hilltop like something out of a movie. 3 stories of white stone and tall windows. Gardens that seemed to go on forever. A fountain in the circular driveway with water cascading from a bronze angel's hands. "Yeah, it's a lot," Emily said, pulling up to the entrance. "You get used to it, do you though?" Emily cut the engine and turned to her. "You ready for this?" Lily wasn't sure she'd ever be ready, but she nodded anyway. The front door opened before they reached it. A woman in her 50s stood there, wearing a crisp uniform and a warm smile. "Miss Emily, you're home early. Hi, Rosa. Is my father here?" "In his study. He's been there all afternoon." Rosa's eyes flickered to Lily with curiosity, but no judgment. They walked through a foyer with marble floors and a chandelier that probably cost more than Lily had earned in her entire life. Family portraits lined the walls. Richard Carter looking distinguished in a suit, a younger Emily at various ages, and there, in the center, the photo that made Lily's breath catch. 2 identical little girls with butterfly pendants, holding hands and laughing. "That was taken a week before," Emily said quietly, following her gaze. "Dad couldn't bring himself to take it down." They climbed a curved staircase to the 2nd floor. Emily knocked on a heavy wooden door. "Come in." Richard Carter sat behind an enormous desk. Reading glasses perched on his nose as he reviewed documents. He looked up, started to smile at Emily, then froze when he saw Lily behind her. The papers slipped from his hands. "Dad," Emily said gently, "this is Lily Brooks. I need you to look at something." But Richard wasn't looking at Lily's face anymore. His eyes had locked onto her neck, where the butterfly pendant caught the afternoon light streaming through the window. He stood slowly, like a man in a dream or a nightmare. His face had gone pale. "Where did you get that?" His voice was barely a whisper. Lily touched the pendant instinctively. "I've always had it, since I was a kid." "Dad, sit down, please." Emily guided him back to his chair. "We did a DNA test this morning. We'll have results in 3 days. 3 days. Richard couldn't stop staring at Lily. His hands trembled as he removed his glasses. "Grace, is it really?" "We don't know yet," Emily said. "But the pendant, her age, where she grew up, it all fits." Richard stood again, slower this time, and walked around the desk. He approached Lily the way someone might approach a wild animal, afraid she'd bolt. When he was close enough, he reached out with one shaking hand and touched the pendant. "I had these made," he said, his voice breaking. "In Santa Fe, the jeweler promised they were one of a kind. 2 wings." He looked up at Lily's face, tears streaming down his cheeks. 2 wings of the same heart. Then Richard Carter, the man who'd built an empire without ever showing weakness in public, fell to his knees on the expensive carpet and wept. Lily stood frozen, unsure what to do. Emily knelt beside her father, crying too, while Lily just stood there feeling like an intruder in someone else's grief. "I'm sorry," Lily finally said. I don't remember. I wish I did, but I don't." Richard looked up at her, his face wet with tears. "You were 5. It's not your fault." He struggled to his feet, Emily helping him. "Will you stay, please, until we know for sure?" Before Lily could answer, a sharp voice cut through the moment. "What the hell is going on here?" A woman stood in the doorway, 50-something, with dark hair pulled back severely and designer clothes that screamed money, her eyes fixed on Lily with immediate suspicion. "Margaret," Richard said, wiping his face. "This is Lily Brooks. I can see who she is, or who she's pretending to be." Margaret walked into the room, her heels clicking against the hardwood. She looked Lily up and down like she was examining a counterfeit painting. "Let me guess. You saw the news stories about the missing Carter heiress and decided to try your luck." "That's not..." Emily started. "How many has it been, Richard? 20, 30 women claiming to be Grace over the years." Margaret crossed her arms. "And you fall for it every single time." "She has the pendant," Richard said. "Pendants can be stolen, copied, bought online." Margaret's eyes narrowed. "How much do you want?" That's what this is really about, isn't it? Tia Margaret, that's enough, Emily snapped. No, it's not enough. I've watched your father pour millions into finding a ghost. I've seen him broken by false hope again and again. She turned to Lily. So tell me, how much to walk away? 50,000? 100? Lily felt heat rising in her face. I don't want anything. I didn't even know who these people were until this afternoon. Sure you didn't. Margaret. Richard's voice was steel now. We've done a DNA test. We'll know the truth in 3 days. Until then, Lily is a guest in this house, and you'll treat her with respect. Margaret's jaw tightened. You're making a mistake. Then it's mine to make. The two siblings stared at each other, years of something unspoken passing between them. Finally, Margaret turned on her heel and left, the door closing hard behind her. I'm sorry, Richard said to Lily. My sister. She's protective. She hates me, Lily said flatly. She doesn't know you. Emily touched her arm. Don't let her get to you. But as Rosa appeared to show Lily to a guest room, she couldn't shake the feeling of Margaret's eyes on her back. That wasn't protection in the woman's voice. It was fear. The guest room was bigger than any apartment Lily had ever lived in. A 4-poster bed, its own bathroom with marble everything, a balcony overlooking the gardens. She sat on the edge of the bed, still wearing her gas station uniform, feeling completely out of place. Through the window, she could see Margaret in the garden below, pacing back and forth, phone pressed to her ear. Even from here, Lily could see the tension in her body. Whatever Margaret was afraid of, Lily was pretty sure she was about to find out. The first morning, Lily woke up disoriented. For a moment, she thought she was back at the motel. But then she saw the silk curtains, felt the Egyptian cotton sheets, and remembered she was in a mansion. Possibly her mansion. Possibly her home. The thought made her nauseous. She found Emily in the kitchen making coffee. The domestic scene felt surreal. This elegant woman in designer pajamas, barefoot on marble floors, humming softly. Morning, Emily said, looking up with a smile. How'd you sleep? Weird. That bed's too soft. Emily laughed. You'll get used to it. Coffee. They sat at the breakfast bar, and for a few minutes, it almost felt normal. Two women having coffee. Not two possible sisters waiting for a DNA test to rewrite their lives. So, Emily said, I was thinking, we have 3 days. We should spend them getting to know each other. Real stuff. Not just the heavy stuff. Like what? Like, what's your favorite food? Lily blinked. Seriously. Mine's Thai food, specifically pad see ew from this place downtown. I don't know, pancakes, I guess. Lily felt stupid saying it. The cheap ones from the diner near the gas station. We'll make pancakes tomorrow, Emily grinned. The expensive kind. Over the next 3 days, they fell into an unexpected rhythm. Emily took time off work, and they spent hours just talking. Lily learned that Emily hated horror movies but loved romantic comedies, that she'd studied business at Stanford, that she'd never been in a serious relationship because something always felt missing. Like I was waiting for someone, Emily said on the second day as they walked through the garden. Does that sound crazy? No, Lily said quietly. I always felt like that too. Like I was incomplete, they discovered. They both tilted their heads the same way when thinking. Both stirred their coffee counterclockwise. Both hated the taste of cilantro. Small things that felt enormous. Richard joined them for dinner each evening. He'd stare at Lily across the table, his eyes wet, as if he was afraid she'd disappear if he looked away. Tell me about the orphanage, he said on the second night. What was it like? Lily shifted uncomfortably. Not great, Mrs. Delgado meant well, I think. But there were too many kids and not enough money. We shared rooms, shared clothes. I learned pretty quick not to get attached to anything because it could be gone the next day. Richard's knuckles went white around his fork. You should never have lived like that. You should have been here, safe. You didn't know where I was. I should have found you. His voice broke. I should have found my little girl. The guilt in his eyes made Lily's chest ache. She reached across the table and touched his hand. The first time she'd initiated contact with him. I'm here now, she said softly. Maybe that's what matters. Richard covered her hand with his own, and for a moment, neither spoke. Margaret, however, remained hostile. She joined them for dinner on the third night, sitting rigid in her chair, barely touching her food. "So, Lily," she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness, "Emily mentioned you work at a gas station. How quaint." "Margaret," Richard warned. "I'm just making conversation, Richard. Surely our guest doesn't mind." She turned back to Lily. "Must be quite a change, staying here, all this luxury. Must be tempting to get comfortable." "I'm not after anything," Lily said flatly. "Of course not. None of them ever are." Margaret took a sip of wine. "Until the money's mentioned." Emily slammed her fork down. "That's enough. What the hell is your problem?" "My problem is watching my brother get his hopes crushed again." Margaret stood. "I'm done here." She left, and the tension lingered like smoke. "Why does she hate me so much?" Lily asked. Richard sighed heavily. "Margaret's had a difficult life. Our father favored me, left me the business. She's always felt overlooked, and after Grace disappeared, she blamed herself. She was supposed to be watching you girls. Maybe she's afraid," Emily said quietly. "Afraid of what it means if you're really Grace." That night, Lily lay awake thinking about Margaret's fear. It felt like more than protectiveness, more than guilt. It felt personal. On the morning of the third day, Emily burst into Lily's room at dawn. "Results are in. They just called." Lily sat up, her heart hammering. "Already. They rushed it. Dad paid extra." Emily's hand trembled. "We need to go to his study, he's waiting." They walked down the hallway together, neither speaking. Richard stood by the window, holding an envelope. His face was unreadable. "Open it, Dad," Emily whispered. Richard's hands shook as he tore the envelope. He read silently, his eyes moving across the page once, twice, 3 times. Then he looked up at Lily, and his face crumpled. 99.99% match. His voice was barely audible. "You're my daughter. You're Grace." The room seemed to tilt. Emily grabbed Lily's arm to steady her, or maybe to steady herself. "I'm Grace," Lily whispered. "I'm really—" Richard crossed the room in 3 strides and pulled her into his arms. She stood rigid at first, unused to the embrace, but then something inside her broke. She gripped his shirt and sobbed, for the childhood stolen from her, for the father she never knew, for the 23 years lost. Emily wrapped her arms around both of them, and they stood there, the 3 of them, finally complete. Outside the door, Margaret listened to the crying, her face pale as death. She pulled out her phone with shaking hands and dialed. "It's me," she hissed. "We have a problem. She's really Grace." The test confirmed it. A pause. "I don't care what it costs. Find a way to fix this. She can't be recognized as the heir. Do whatever you have to do." She hung up and leaned against the wall, her breathing ragged. 23 years of secrets were about to explode, and she'd do anything to keep them buried. The celebration lasted through breakfast. Rosa cried openly as she served champagne and orange juice, dabbing her eyes with her apron. Staff members who'd worked at the estate for decades came to hug Richard, to see the miracle with their own eyes. Grace Carter, she was still getting used to that name, sat at the dining table. Overwhelmed by the attention, Emily kept touching her arm, as if to make sure she was real. "I can't believe it," Emily said for the 100th time. "I actually can't believe you're here." "Me neither," Grace admitted. Her whole life had been a lie. Lily Brooks didn't exist, had never existed. She was Grace Carter, daughter of a millionaire, sister to this beautiful woman beside her. Richard couldn't stop smiling. He'd aged 20 years overnight, but now looked younger, lighter. "We need to make this official. Get you proper documentation. Transfer your legal identity back." "Slow down, Dad," Emily laughed. Let her breathe. But Grace noticed one person missing from the celebration. "Where's Margaret?" The joy dimmed slightly in Richard's eyes. "In her wing." She asked not to be disturbed. "She still thinks I'm lying," Grace said. "She'll come around." But Richard didn't sound convinced. They spent the afternoon going through old photo albums. Richard showed Grace pictures of her mother, told stories about Catherine's laugh, her kindness, how she'd sung lullabies in French. "You have her smile," he said, tracing a photo of Catherine holding the infant twins. "Both of you do." Grace stared at the tiny baby in the picture. Herself, 28 years ago, whole and safe and loved. She touched the image gently, as if she could reach back through time. "I wish I remembered her," she whispered. "She loved you both so much." Richard's voice thickened. "When she died, I thought I'd lost everything. And then when you disappeared," he couldn't finish. Emily squeezed Grace's hand. "But she's back now. We're all back together." That evening, Richard announced they'd have a proper family dinner to celebrate. He asked Rosa to prepare Grace's favorite foods from childhood, or what he remembered them being. "You loved chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs," he said with a sad smile. "And mac and cheese and those little mandarin oranges in the cups." Grace felt her throat tighten. Those were still her favorite foods. Even now, she'd thought it was because they were cheap at the orphanage, but maybe it was something deeper. Muscle memory, soul memory. As Rosa prepared dinner, Grace wandered the mansion, trying to reconcile this life with her own. She found herself in what must have been her childhood bedroom. Emily had shown it to her earlier. It remained untouched. A shrine to a 5-year-old girl, pink walls, stuffed animals, a toy box full of forgotten treasures. She sat on the small bed and opened the toy box. Inside were coloring books, blocks, and at the bottom, a worn stuffed rabbit with floppy ears. The moment she touched it, pain exploded behind her eyes. "Mr. Floppy, you can't have him, Emily. He's mine." Laughter, her own laughter, playing in a room with pink walls and a sister who looked just like her. "Grace, come on, share with your sister." Running downstairs. "Mr." Floppy clutched to her chest. Sunlight through windows. A garden. Swings. Swings. Grace gasped, dropping the rabbit. Her head throbbed. But for the first time, the memories weren't fragments. They were real. Solid. "Grace." Emily appeared in the doorway. "You okay? You're white as a sheet." "I remembered something. Just now, I think. I had this rabbit, Mr. Floppy." Emily's eyes went wide. She came and sat beside Grace on the tiny bed. "Oh my God, yes. That was yours. You took him everywhere. I remember fighting with you over him. You wouldn't share anything." Emily laughed through tears. "Mom always said you had to learn to share, but you were so stubborn." "Was I?" "God, yes, stubborn as hell." Emily picked up the rabbit. "You brought him to the park that day. Aunt Margaret had to pry him out of your hands so you could go on the swings." Grace's head pounded. "The park. Don't force it," Emily said quickly. "The doctor said memories might come back gradually. Don't hurt yourself trying." But Grace wanted to remember. Needed to. That day at the park held the key to everything. Dinner was surreal. Richard sat at the head of the table. Emily on one side, Grace on the other. They ate and talked and laughed. And for a few hours, Grace almost forgot about the 23 years between then and now, until Margaret appeared. She stood in the doorway, perfectly dressed, her face a mask of composure, but her eyes were red-rimmed, and her hands shook slightly. "May I join you?" Her voice was carefully controlled. "Of course," Richard said, though tension immediately filled the room. Margaret sat at the far end of the table. She looked at Grace for a long moment, and something flickered across her face. Was it guilt? Fear? "I owe you an apology," Margaret said finally. "I was cruel. Suspicious. She paused. "I've seen my brother's heart broken too many times. I was trying to protect him." "And now?" Grace asked. "Now the test is conclusive." Margaret's smile didn't reach her eyes. "Welcome home, Grace." But there was something wrong about it. Something hollow. Emily felt it too. Grace could see her sister's jaw tighten. They finished dinner in uncomfortable silence. When Margaret excused herself, claiming a headache, the relief was palpable. "She's hiding something," Emily said once Margaret was gone. Richard started. "No, Dad, you saw her. She looked terrified." Emily turned to Grace. "Did you notice how she wouldn't look at you directly?" Grace had noticed. Margaret's eyes had slid away every time their gazes met, like she couldn't bear to see her. Later that night, Grace couldn't sleep. She stood on her bedroom balcony, looking out at the gardens bathed in moonlight. Somewhere below, she saw a figure pacing. Margaret, on her phone again, gesturing frantically. Even from here, Grace could sense the panic. What was Margaret so afraid of? And why did Grace feel like the answer was locked somewhere in her damaged memory, waiting to be discovered? The nightmare came on the fourth night. Grace was 5 again, wearing her pink butterfly dress, running through the park. The sun was warm, the grass soft under her bare feet. Emily was behind her, laughing, calling her name. "Grace, wait up." But Grace didn't want to wait. She wanted to see the ducks by the pond. Mama had taken them to feed the ducks before she got sick. Maybe if Grace fed them now, Mama would come back. She ran past the swings, past the sandbox where other children played. The pond shimmered ahead, and Grace could hear the ducks quacking. Then a shadow fell across her path. "Hello, sweetheart." Grace looked up. A woman stood there, blocking the sun. She wore big, dark sunglasses that covered half her face, and her smile was wrong. Too wide, too sharp. "Want to play a game?" Grace shook her head. "I'm not supposed to talk to strangers." "I'm not a stranger, silly. I'm your Aunt Margaret, remember? I'm watching you today." Grace knew Aunt Margaret. She lived with them, but something about this felt wrong. "Where's Emily?" "She's fine, but I have a special game. Just for you." The woman held out her hand. "Come with me, just for a minute." Grace hesitated, but Aunt Margaret was family. Family was safe. She took the hand. They walked away from the pond, toward the parking lot. Grace's heart started beating faster. "Where are we going?" "Shh, it's part of the game." A black car waited, engine running. A man sat in the driver's seat, his face blurry in Grace's memory, like someone had smudged it out. "I don't want to play anymore," Grace said, trying to pull away. But the woman's grip was iron. She opened the back door and pushed Grace inside. "No! Let me go, Emily!" Grace screamed, clawing at the door handle. "Daddy, Emily, help me!" The woman climbed in beside her, holding her down as the car pulled away. Grace fought, kicked, screamed until her throat was raw. Through the back window, she could see the park getting smaller, could see a tiny figure in a pink dress running toward them. Emily, her sister, her twin, her other wing. And then she was gone. Grace woke up screaming. She was tangled in silk sheets, her face wet with tears, her throat raw from the sounds tearing out of her. The bedroom door burst open and Emily rushed in, followed seconds later by Richard. "Grace, honey, what's wrong?" Emily climbed onto the bed, pulling Grace into her arms. "I saw her," Grace sobbed. "I saw what happened. The woman. She had dark sunglasses. She said it was a game." "Slow down," Richard said, sitting on the other side of the bed. "Take a breath." But Grace couldn't slow down. The memory was bleeding through now. 23 years of suppression cracking open. "She took me, pushed me into a car. I screamed for you. I screamed so loud." Emily held her tighter, rocking her like a child. "I know, God, Grace, I know. I heard you. I ran after the car, but it was too fast." "You remember the car." Richard's voice went sharp. "Just that it was black, or dark blue. I was 5, Dad. I was terrified." Emily's own tears fell onto Grace's hair. "I've had nightmares about it my whole life." Grace pulled back, looking at her father. The woman said she was Aunt Margaret. The room went silent. "What?" Richard's face drained of color. She said, "I'm your Aunt Margaret." She wore big sunglasses. Grace's hand shook, but it felt wrong. Even then, I knew something was wrong. Richard stood slowly, like a man in a trance. Margaret wore sunglasses that day. She always did. Sensitive eyes from an old injury. "Dad, you can't seriously think..." Emily started. "Where is she?" Richard's voice was cold, hard. Grace had never heard him sound like that. "Dad, wait." But Richard was already out the door, striding down the hallway toward Margaret's wing. Emily and Grace scrambled after him. He didn't knock, just threw open Margaret's bedroom door. Margaret sat at her vanity in a silk robe, removing her makeup. She jumped at the intrusion. "Richard, what the hell?" "Grace remembers," he said flatly. Margaret's hand froze, cotton pad halfway to her face. In the mirror, her eyes met Grace's. "Remembers what?" "The park. The woman who took her. The woman wearing dark sunglasses who said she was you." "That's ridiculous." "I was right there. I would never..." "Then why are you shaking?" Emily stepped forward. Why do you look like you're about to throw up? Margaret stood, drawing herself up. This is insane. She's confused, traumatized. She's cobbling together false memories from what we've told her. She described details we never mentioned, Richard said. The sunglasses, the black car, the parking lot. Coincidence. Or she heard it from someone else over the years. Stop lying. Grace's voice cracked like a whip. She moved closer, studying Margaret's face. Without the makeup, she looked older, harder, and terrified. It was you. I see you in my nightmares. I've been seeing you my whole life, but I didn't know who you were. You're disturbed. You need help. I need the truth. Grace was shaking now, but she didn't back down. You took me. You put me in that car. Why? Margaret's composure cracked, just for a second. But they all saw it. The flash of guilt, of panic, of something dark and desperate. Get out, Margaret whispered. Not until you tell us what happened, Richard said. I said get out. Margaret grabbed a perfume bottle from her vanity and hurled it at them. It shattered against the wall, filling the air with expensive fragrance and broken glass. Richard pulled both his daughters back. We're not done with this. Tomorrow morning, my study. You will tell us everything. Or what? Margaret's laugh was brittle. You'll call the police on your own sister. If I have to. Richard's voice was ice. 23 years, Margaret. My daughter was gone for 23 years. If you had anything to do with that, so help me God. He couldn't finish, just turned and walked away. One arm around each of his daughters. Behind them, they heard the sound of Margaret sobbing, but Grace felt no pity, only a cold, spreading certainty. The woman who'd stolen her childhood, who'd condemned her to years of isolation and poverty, who'd ripped her from her family. That woman shared her blood. Richard didn't sleep. Grace could hear him pacing in his study downstairs, the floorboards creaking with each heavy step. She lay in her bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind replaying the nightmare over and over. The dark sunglasses, the cold hand, the black car. It was a game, just for you. At dawn, she gave up on sleep and went downstairs. Richard sat at his desk surrounded by boxes, old files, photographs, documents yellowed with age. You're up early, he said without looking up. Couldn't sleep. Grace approached cautiously. What's all this? Everything I collected over the years, every lead, every tip, every investigation. His voice was hollow. I never stopped looking, Grace. Even when everyone told me to move on, I couldn't. Grace picked up a photograph from the desk, her 5-year-old face staring back from a missing poster. Her chest tightened. Did you ever suspect Margaret? Richard was quiet for a long moment. I suspected everyone, including myself for not being there that day. He pulled out a folder, his hands trembling slightly. But Margaret, there were inconsistencies in her story. Small things that didn't add up. Like what? She said she was sitting on a bench, watching you both play. But the park security camera, he pulled out a grainy photo. It shows her walking toward the parking lot, with a small figure in a pink dress. Grace's breath caught. The image was blurry. The timestamp reading January 15th, 1999, 3:47 p.m. A woman in dark clothing, a child's hand in hers. Why didn't you confront her? The image wasn't clear enough. Could have been any woman, any child. My lawyers said it would never hold up. Richard's jaw clenched. But I knew, deep down, I always knew something was wrong with her story. Emily appeared in the doorway, still in pajamas. You're both up. Did anyone actually sleep? Not really, Grace admitted. Emily joined them, looking at the spread of documents. Jesus, Dad. How much stuff do you have? 23 years worth. He pulled out another folder. Bank records. Look at this. He spread several statements across the desk. 3 days after Grace disappeared, Margaret deposited $15,000 in cash into her account. When I asked her about it, she said it was from selling some jewelry our mother left her. Did you verify that? Emily asked. The jewelry was never sold. I checked with every dealer in the state. Richard's voice hardened. She lied. Grace felt sick. She sold me for $15,000. We don't know that for certain. Yes, we do. Grace's voice was steel. You know it. I know it. The only question is why. Richard stood and walked to the window, his back to them. Margaret and I, we didn't have an easy childhood. Our father favored me, left me the company, left her a modest trust fund. She always resented it. So she took your daughter to punish you. Emily's voice rose. That's psychotic. It's worse than that, Richard said quietly. If Grace was gone, Emily would inherit everything alone, one heir instead of two. Perhaps Margaret thought that you'd be more generous to her if you only had one daughter to provide for. Grace finished. The cruelty of it was staggering. A knock at the door made them all turn. Rosa stood there, wringing her hands. Mr. Carter, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's something I need to tell you about that day. Richard's eyes sharpened. What about it? Rosa came in, closing the door behind her. She'd been with the family for 30 years, had watched the twins grow from babies. I saw Miss Margaret that morning, before you all left for the park. She was on the phone in the hallway. I heard her say, Rosa's voice dropped. She said, "It'll be today. I'll make sure of it. Just be ready." The room fell silent. Why didn't you tell me this before? Richard's voice was dangerous. I was scared, Miss Margaret. She's not a kind woman, Mr. Carter. She threatened me once, years ago, when I asked about that day. Said I'd lose my job, my green card. Everything. If I ever spoke about what I'd heard. Tears rolled down Rosa's face. I'm so sorry. I should have been braver. Emily put an arm around Rosa. You're telling us now. That's what matters. Richard pulled out his phone. I'm calling my investigators. And my lawyers. We're going to... The study door opened. Margaret stood there, dressed impeccably despite the early hour. Her face was a mask of composure, but her eyes were wild. You want the truth. Her voice was too calm. Fine. Let's have it all out. She walked in and sat down, crossing her legs as if this were a business meeting. Yes, I arranged for Grace to be taken. Yes, I was paid for it. $15,000 by a man who ran an underground adoption ring. Yes, I've lied about it for 23 years. The casual admission hit like a physical blow. Emily gasped. Rosa backed toward the door. Richard stood frozen, his face contorted with rage and anguish. Why? Grace whispered. Margaret looked at her, really looked at her, for the first time since she'd arrived. Because I was invisible. My whole life. I was nothing but Richard's poor sister, father's disappointment, the spare Carter nobody wanted. Her voice cracked. And then Catherine died, and suddenly Richard was this tragic hero, raising his beautiful twin daughters alone. Everyone loved him even more. Even in grief, he got everything. So you destroyed my family. Richard's voice shook. You took my daughter because you were jealous. I took your daughter because I wanted you to feel what I felt. Loss, insignificance, pain. Margaret's eyes glittered. And it worked. For 23 years, you suffered. Just like I suffered. Grace stood slowly. She walked over to Margaret, and for a moment, they just stared at each other. Then Grace spoke, her voice deadly quiet. You didn't just take me from my father. You stole my childhood, my identity, my sister. You condemned me to years in a place where I was nobody, where I had nothing. She leaned closer. And for what? $15,000 and your pathetic revenge? Margaret's composure finally cracked. I didn't mean for it to be permanent, I thought. I thought after a few months, when he'd suffered enough. You thought you'd bring me back. Grace laughed bitterly. And what? Expect gratitude? I lost track of you. The man I gave you to, he moved you. I couldn't find... Margaret was crying now, makeup running. I've lived with this guilt every day. Good, Grace said. I hope it eats you alive. Richard picked up the phone. I'm calling the police. Richard, please. Margaret stood, reaching for him. Don't touch me. His voice was ice. You're not my sister anymore. You're the woman who kidnapped my daughter. As Richard made the call, Margaret collapsed back into the chair, her carefully constructed world crumbling around her. Grace watched without pity. Justice was finally coming after 23 years. Justice was finally coming. The police arrived within the hour. 2 detectives in plain clothes, their faces grave as Richard led them into the study where Margaret still sat, mascara streaking her face like war paint. "Margaret Carter?" the older detective asked. She nodded, unable to speak. "We need you to come with us. We have questions about the disappearance of Grace Carter in 1999. "I already told them everything," Margaret said, her voice hoarse. "I did it. I arranged it all." The younger detective exchanged glances with his partner. "Ma'am, you have the right to remain silent." "I don't want to remain silent." Margaret stood abruptly. "I'm tired of being silent. I'm tired of carrying this." She turned to Richard, her eyes pleading. "I know you hate me. I hate myself. But you have to understand." "Understand what?" Richard's voice was quiet, which made it somehow more terrifying. "That you sold my 5-year-old daughter to criminals. That you let me spend millions searching while you sat at my dinner table, pretending to care. I did care. I do care." Margaret's voice broke. "Every time I saw you broken, every time you cried in your study thinking no one could hear. It killed me, Richard. It killed me. But not enough to tell the truth," Emily said from the doorway. She'd been standing there the whole time, arms crossed, face hard. "Not enough to end our suffering. I was scared. If I told you, I'd lose everything. You'd already lost everything," Grace said quietly. All eyes turned to her. "The moment you made that choice, you lost your family, your brother, your humanity. You just didn't know it yet." Margaret looked at her, and something shifted in her expression. For the first time, she seemed to really see Grace, not as a threat or a reminder of her crime, but as the child she'd destroyed. "You look just like her," Margaret whispered. "Your mother, Catherine. She was kind to me, even when your father wasn't, even when I didn't deserve it." A sob escaped her. "I'm so sorry, God, Grace, I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't give me back 23 years, Grace said. Her voice didn't waver. "Sorry doesn't erase the nights I cried myself to sleep wondering why nobody wanted me. Sorry doesn't fix what you broke." "I know." Margaret's shoulders sagged. "I know." The detective cleared his throat. "Ma'am, we really need to take you in now." Margaret nodded. She stood, smoothing her clothes in an automatic gesture of dignity that was almost heartbreaking in its futility. As the detective moved to cuff her, Richard held up a hand. "Wait." Everyone looked at him. "I want to know everything. Not for the police. For me." Richard's voice shook. "Who was the man? Where did he take her? I need to know every detail of how you destroyed my daughter's life." Margaret swallowed hard. "His name was Vincent Mora. I met him at a bar. I'd been drinking, complaining about my life. He said he knew people who could make problems disappear. At first, I thought he was joking, but you called him," Richard finished, disgust dripping from his words. "I was drunk, angry. I never thought I'd actually—" She stopped, realizing how pathetic it sounded. "He said he had connections to an orphanage in New Mexico, off the books, for children who needed to disappear. I gave him $15,000 and directions to the park." Grace's hands clenched into fists. "Did you even check what kind of place it was? Did you care?" "I told myself it would be temporary, that I'd find a way to bring you back once Richard had learned his lesson." Margaret's laugh was bitter. "But Vincent disappeared after that, changed his number, and you vanished into the system. I tried to find you, hired people to search, but without Vincent there was no trail. You tried to find her." Emily's voice dripped with sarcasm. "How noble. I know you don't believe me. You're right. We don't." Richard turned to the detectives. "Take her." This time, he didn't stop them. The metallic click of handcuffs seemed to echo through the study. Margaret's composure finally shattered completely. She started sobbing, her body shaking. "Richard, please, I'm your sister." "I don't have a sister." His voice was flat. "Final. Take her away." As the detectives led Margaret toward the door, she stopped and looked back at Grace one last time. "For what it's worth, I'm glad you survived. I'm glad you found your way home. I'm glad you're stronger than I ever was." "Don't," Grace said. "Don't try to make this some kind of redemption story. You don't get forgiveness. You don't get closure. You get what you deserve." Margaret's face crumpled, and she let the detectives lead her away. The front door closed behind them, and suddenly the mansion felt different. Lighter somehow, as if a poison had been drained from its walls. Richard sank into his chair, his face in his hands. Emily moved to him immediately. Kneeling beside him, Grace stood frozen, not sure what to do, until Richard looked up and extended his hand to her. She took it, and he pulled her close, wrapping both daughters in his arms. "It's over," he whispered. "God, it's finally over." But Emily pulled back slightly, her face troubled. "Is it, though?" Margaret confessed. "But there's still so much we don't know. This Vincent guy, the orphanage, other people had to be involved. The detectives will investigate," Richard said. "They'll find everyone responsible." Grace thought about Mrs. Delgado, the orphanage director who'd taken her in and given her the name Lily. Had she known? Had she been part of the trafficking ring? Or just another cog in a horrible machine? "What happens now?" Grace asked. Richard wiped his eyes. "Now we heal, as a family, together." He looked at both of them. "Margaret will face justice. She'll spend years in prison, probably decades. But us, we get our lives back. We get each other back." "I don't know how to be a Carter," Grace admitted. "I've been Lily Brooks for so long." "Then be both," Emily said, squeezing her hand. "Be whoever you want to be. You've earned that right." Outside, the sun rose higher, burning away the last shadows. In the distance, they could hear birds singing, oblivious to the drama that had unfolded. Grace looked at her father and sister, her family, and felt something she'd never felt before. Safe, finally. Completely safe. The media storm hit within hours. Carter heiress found after 23 years screamed the headlines. Aunt arrested in kidnapping conspiracy. Grace watched the news coverage from Richard's study, feeling surreal as her childhood photo appeared on screen, next to recent shots of her being escorted into the mansion. Reporters camped outside the gates, their cameras flashing like lightning. "We can get a restraining order," Richard said, pacing behind his desk. "Keep them off the property. Let them talk," Grace said quietly. "The truth is out there now. That's what matters." Emily sat beside her on the couch, scrolling through her phone. Social media is exploding. People are calling you a miracle, calling Margaret a monster. "She is a monster," Grace said. But even as she said it, she remembered the broken woman being led away in handcuffs, sobbing. Margaret had destroyed her life, but she'd also destroyed her own. The days that followed were a blur of police interviews, legal proceedings, and media requests. Grace told her story over and over until the words lost meaning. The orphanage, the lost years, the pendant that led her home. Margaret was formally charged with kidnapping, child trafficking, and conspiracy. Her lawyer tried to argue diminished capacity, years of mental illness, but the evidence was overwhelming. The security footage, the bank records, Rose's testimony about the phone call, and Margaret's own confession, recorded by the detectives. The trial was set for 6 months out, but Margaret's lawyer advised her to take a plea deal, 25 years with possibility of parole. "She'll be 75 when she gets out," Emily said when they heard the news. "If she even lives that long." Grace felt nothing. No satisfaction, no vindication, just emptiness where anger used to be. Richard threw himself into damage control, using his influence to protect Grace from the worst of the media circus. He hired lawyers to help her establish her legal identity, to reclaim the life that had been stolen from her. But there was one thing Grace insisted on doing herself. "I need to go back," she told Richard one morning. "To the orphanage, to New Mexico." "Why?" Richard looked pained. That place raised me," Grace said firmly. "Mrs. Delgado wasn't perfect, but she kept me alive. She gave me food, shelter, a name. I need to know if she was part of it, or if she was just trying to help." Emily volunteered to drive her. They made the trip in Emily's Mercedes, the desert landscape stretching endlessly on either side of the highway. Grace watched it pass, remembering fragments. A bus ride, the smell of dust, the feeling of being utterly alone. The orphanage was smaller than Grace remembered, a squat building with peeling paint, surrounded by a chain-link fence. A faded sign read, "St. Mary's Home for Children." It was closed, boarded up, condemned. "Looks like it shut down years ago," Emily said, parking outside the fence. Grace got out, approaching the building slowly. Through a broken window, She could see the common room where she'd spent countless hours, the dormitory where she'd slept on a thin mattress, the kitchen where Mrs. Delgado had taught her to make tortillas. "Grace," Emily touched her arm. "You okay?" "I survived this place," Grace said softly. "I survived, and I got out, and I found my way home. That's all that matters." They stood there for a long moment, Grace saying goodbye to Lily Brooks, the girl who'd been nobody from nowhere. That girl had been strong, resilient, a survivor. Grace would carry her forever. On the drive back, Emily asked, "Do you forgive her, Margaret?" Grace was quiet for a long time. "I don't know. Maybe someday. But right now," she shook her head. "Right now, I'm just trying to forgive myself." "For what?" "For being the one who survived. For being the one Dad spent millions looking for while you had to watch him break." Grace's voice cracked. "For being gone at all." Emily pulled over, right there on the side of the highway. She turned to Grace, tears streaming down her face. "Don't you dare feel guilty for what she did to you. Don't you dare." Emily grabbed Grace's hands. "You were 5 years old. You were a victim. And yeah, it destroyed Dad and it destroyed me. But you know what destroyed us more? Not knowing if you were alive. Not knowing if you were safe. I wasn't safe. I was in a shithole orphanage with no future. But you survived. You fought. You became this incredible, strong person despite everything." Emily squeezed her hands tighter. "And now you're home. That's what matters. You're home. And we're together. And we get to be sisters again." Grace pulled Emily into a hug, both of them crying on the side of the desert highway as cars rushed past. When they got back to the mansion, Richard was waiting with news. The detectives had tracked down Vincent Mora, the man who'd facilitated Grace's kidnapping. He was in federal custody, facing multiple charges related to a child trafficking ring that had operated for decades. "How many?" Grace asked quietly. "At least 40 children that they know of." Richard's face was grim. "Your case broke it wide open. Other families are coming forward. The FBI thinks there might be dozens more." Grace felt sick. 40 children, 40 families destroyed, and Margaret had knowingly handed her over to these people. "I want to testify," Grace said suddenly. "At Margaret's trial, I want to look her in the eye and tell her what she did." Richard nodded. "We'll make sure you get that chance." That night, Grace stood on her balcony, looking out at the gardens she was slowly learning to call home. Emily joined her, bringing 2 cups of tea. "You know what's weird?" Grace said. "Part of me is grateful. Grateful. If Margaret hadn't done what she did, I wouldn't have become who I am. I'd be some spoiled rich girl who never knew hardship, never learned to fight." Grace touched her pendant. "Instead, I'm a survivor, and I'm okay with that." Emily clinked her cup against Grace's. "To survivors." "Then, to sisters," Grace corrected. "To sisters," Emily agreed. Below them, Richard stood in the garden, looking up at his daughters silhouetted against the mansion lights. His family was finally whole. Justice had been served. Healing could begin. And for the first time in 23 years, the Carter family could breathe. 3 months later, the farmhouse sat on 20 acres of rolling hills, far from the city lights and camera flashes. Richard had bought it for Grace, a place where she could breathe, heal, find herself away from the weight of the Carter name. Grace stood on the porch, coffee in hand, watching the sunrise paint the sky in shades of gold and pink. She'd learned that sunrises here were different from the harsh desert dawns of New Mexico. Softer, kinder. The sound of tires on gravel made her turn. Emily's car appeared down the long driveway and Grace smiled. Friday mornings had become their tradition. Emily drove out before work, and they'd have breakfast together before the world demanded their attention. "Morning, stranger," Emily called, getting out with a bag of groceries. "I brought bagels, the good kind from that place you like." "You're my favorite sister," Grace said. "I'm your only sister. Makes you the favorite by default." They fell into their easy rhythm, Emily toasting bagels while Grace scrambled eggs. Both moving around the kitchen like they'd been doing this for years instead of months, the gaps in their shared history were slowly filling in, one breakfast at a time. "Dad wants you to come to dinner Sunday," Emily said, spreading cream cheese. "He's been working on his famous lasagna. His only lasagna, Grace corrected. And it's terrible. Absolutely awful, Emily agreed. But we eat it anyway because it makes him happy. Grace laughed. These moments, the ordinary, mundane moments of family life, were the ones she treasured most. Not the mansion or the money or the headlines, but bagels and bad lasagna and her sister's terrible jokes. "How's the foundation coming along?" Emily asked. Richard had established the Grace Carter Foundation 3 weeks after Margaret's arrest. Its mission: reuniting separated families and reforming adoption laws. Grace served as the public face, sharing her story to help others who'd been lost find their way home. Good. We've already helped reconnect 2 families. One case was like mine, a kid who disappeared and ended up in the system with no records. The other was an international adoption that went wrong. Grace set down her fork. It's hard hearing their stories, but it helps. Makes what happened to me mean something. You're making a difference, Emily said softly. Mom would be proud. Grace touched the butterfly pendant at her throat, the one she'd worn for 23 years without knowing its significance. I like to think she was always with me, even when I didn't know who I was. They ate in comfortable silence for a while. Through the window, Grace could see the small garden she'd started planting. Herbs and vegetables, things she could nurture and watch grow. Therapy had taught her that creating life helped heal the parts of her that felt broken. I heard from the Dawes office, Emily said carefully. Margaret's sentencing is next week. Grace nodded. She'd testified at the trial, told the judge everything about the orphanage. The lost years, the identity stolen from her. Margaret had sat in the defendant's chair, crying silently, but Grace felt nothing. Not anger, not satisfaction, just a quiet sense of closure. Are you going? Emily asked. No, I said what I needed to say. Grace looked at her sister. I'm done letting her take up space in my life. Good. Emily raised her coffee cup. To moving forward. To moving forward, Grace echoed. After breakfast, they walked the property together. The land was beautiful, wild and open, with a creek running through the back 40. Grace had found peace here, away from the expectations and the constant reminders of what she'd lost. I've been thinking, Grace said as they walked, about going back to school. Yeah, for what? Psychology, maybe social work. Grace picked up a smooth stone from the creek bed, turning it over in her palm. I want to help kids who've been through what I went through. Kids who feel invisible, like nobody's looking for them. Emily's eyes shone with tears. That's perfect. You'd be amazing at it. I'm 28. I'd be starting late. So what? You've got time? We've got time. Emily bumped her shoulder. Besides, I've always wanted a therapist in the family. Free sessions. Grace laughed, the sound carrying across the fields. It still surprised her sometimes, how easy it was to laugh now. For so long, joy had felt like something other people experienced. Now it was hers to claim. They sat by the creek, feet dangling in the cold water, and talked about everything and nothing. Emily's terrible dating life, Grace's plans for the garden, their father's increasing attempts to learn how to text. He sent me 17 eggplant emojis yesterday, Emily said. I don't think he knows what they mean. Oh God, should we tell him? Absolutely not. It's funnier this way. As the sun climbed higher, a butterfly landed on Grace's knee, orange and black, its wings opening and closing slowly. Both sisters went still, watching it. Mom used to say butterflies were souls saying hello, Emily whispered. The butterfly stayed for a moment longer, then took flight, dancing through the air before disappearing into the blue sky. Grace touched her pendant, then reached for Emily's hand. Her sister's pendant caught the sunlight, identical to her own. 2 wings of the same heart, Grace said softly. Forever, Emily added. They sat together, hands linked, as the creek babbled and the wind whispered through the grass. 23 years had been stolen, but they had the rest of their lives to make new memories. That evening, when Emily left and Grace was alone again, she didn't feel lonely. She felt full, whole, complete, in a way she'd never been before. She called Richard, and he answered on the first ring. Hi, Dad. Grace, everything okay? Everything's perfect. I just wanted to say I love you." She heard him choke up on the other end. "I love you too, sweetheart. So much. See you Sunday. I'll even eat the terrible lasagna." "It's not terrible." But he was laughing through his tears. After they hung up, Grace stood on her porch and watched the sunset, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and reds. Somewhere out there, Margaret sat in a cell, facing the consequences of her choices. But Grace refused to let that woman define her story anymore. She was Grace Carter, survivor, sister, daughter, fighter, and she was finally, beautifully free. A butterfly landed on the porch railing beside her. Not orange this time, but white, with delicate turquoise spots that matched the stones in her pendant. Grace smiled and watched it take flight, its wings catching the dying light as it soared toward the horizon. Some stories, no matter how painful, deserve an ending where love wins.